Hello, fellow beaders. This is Lynn Wiltzius. I normally do floss tube, which I do for cross stitch and Brazilian embroidery. I thought that beading was not quite what some of the embroiderers and well, cross stitches embroidery. So it's not something that most of them really look like or do, I don't think. So I decided to break up my video and do my floss tube video and then do my beading video. So because so many people have been asking me about my Snowman and Friends that I have been posting as I go, and I'm on Instagram under Wiltzius quilts _ love to cross stitch. And if you do it backwards, then that's my cat and my food blog that I do. But my blog with my beading and my embroidery is Wiltzius quilts _ love to cross stitch, LV2XST. And I've been known as that for a long time. I mean, I started going by that hashtag for, oh gosh, back in the 80s. So when I was really into computers and we'd go into chats and chat with people, that's when I got it. So this is where I am right now on my snowman. See, I have to come back a ways. Pretty big. So I'm a little over halfway because there's 580 rows. And this is, excuse me, row 335 is my next row. So yesterday I was able to get 5 rows in. It usually takes about anywhere from a half hour to an hour to do a row. And that all depends upon how many beads I'm pulling to how many beads that I put on. I generally take, well, see, I use these cute little cups with the number of the beads. So then when I'm doing a row, I will take them out, lay them out on my mat, for each row or for each line that's in a row. And so I line them up and I count them to make sure that I have the right count. And then I put them on. So that takes a little bit of time, but it saves me from having to try to pick a bead as I go. And I know some people can do that, but with my dyslexia, I skip sometimes. So it's nice for me to lay it all out. So like in this case, I would take this row right here, lay it out, take the next row and lay it on top of, up above that. And then I have the whole row all laid out, and then I start beading it on. And I put my numbers up here so that I know how many beads are there. And once in a while I counted wrong, but I can fix those because I get it right there. Instead of me going through and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, that kind of thing. So I've been able to do that. And I started this guy, which I love dearly. I started him in August. But I haven't been working on him all the time. See, I roll it up and then I work at it this way. So I haven't worked on him constantly. There's been a time where it was a good month before I even went back to work on him. As much as I want to get him done, there were other things that came in. And then when my husband was diagnosed with kidney cancer, there was a good 2-3 weeks that I didn't work on that. I worked on my embroidery because we were constantly going to the doctors and I was doing my embroidery while we waited. So and then I love the Facebook account, trying to think of what it's called, Seed Beads. there's two groups that I'm in, and one of them is I love peyote stitch, which is what these are. These are all peyote stitch that I do so far. I haven't tried any of the other brick stitch or square stitches, but eventually I probably will. So, and I believe it's seed beads, but I can't remember the whole thing on it, but it's a Facebook account, and I'll try to put that down below. It's a good group, and we learn to do, you know, they've even have a teaching part of it, so you get patterns and you learn how to do things. So the gal that does the tiny boxes, Julia, can't pronounce her last name, starts with a P, and she's done the little book, little box books, little book of boxes or something like that. Beaded boxes, little beaded boxes is what. I'm pretty bad at this. Anyway, so she's done that book, and so she was teaching this on Facebook, and there's the lid. So the lid. So I have a little beaded box, which is kind of cool, and I just noticed that my top is a little crooked. So anyway, and I just used beads that, for this part, I use the beads I have downstairs. I didn't want to have to go and buy any new stuff. And so then one of the other gals in the group had done a pattern for fish. So I'm doing a fish one, which is this one right here. And I've got a little bit more to go. And you noticed it's a lot taller than this one. But they are 6-point hexagons. So, and I found them really fun to do, except I noticed I got to tighten these. So, so I've been working on those, which is kind of cool. And I have ideas for the next couple of beads that I want, beaded ones I want to do. I have a lighthouse, but it's not as big as the snowman one. I love the snowman, and actually I think that the gal that did it probably got it from a cross stitch pattern, but I'm not for positive. I have seen it done in cross stitch, so it is interesting and it is fun. I love the way that this is done. It's a hem, and if I can figure out how to work my computer, you know, my camera or my phone, whatever you want to call it, I will try to show how to do the hem, because I noticed that in her book it's done different. But not only that, I did notice that there aren't any instructions on how to do the hem, because I was trying to teach a friend of mine how to do a hem. She's got the book, and I tried to show her how to do the hem, but it's kind of hard when she's 30 minutes north of here. And so I had to drive up one day, and I had to sit and show her how to get it started, because she just couldn't understand it over the phone. And I would have her take pictures, send me the pictures, and then I'd explain to her where it had to go. But because she had a mini stroke not too long ago, I think that kind of muffled up her brain a little bit, so she has to actually see it, and she has to do it at least a couple of times. So and that does happen. So anyway, basically that is where I am on my snowman. I will try to keep posting, and I don't like to post, I don't like to do videos too long. And I think my longest video is only like 30 minutes. I can't figure out how people can keep going for an hour and so on videos, because I fast forwarded them. Too much yakking, which is what I'm doing right now. So anyway, oh, and then I did pick up these clippers, because somebody on the group had suggested these were awesome for the fire I can't remember the wire thread that you use for beading. I don't use that. I use Nymo thread. So, but anyway, this works. And the only reason why I needed the other the wire bead was because I was going through some of the old jewelry that my grandmother had given me that is the costume jewelry. And I have boxes of costume jewelry. You wouldn't believe how much I have. And there were at least 4 pearl beaded necklaces that needed to be redone. So I actually, because the clasps were broke, or it was cut here and all the beads were there, but there was no, it was not into a necklace. So I did 3 of them. I put 3 of them together and had my husband put on the clasp because he likes to do the jewelry part of it. I have another set of pearls that I need to put on. So, and I couldn't find scissors that would cut through that wire, and I found that these work really good. I like thread catchers better than these, but these are about the same as the thread catchers. So either way, these are well worth getting. They're fisherman's tools, and when it comes to wires, fishermen know how to do it. So anyway, that was my one tip of the day. Otherwise, I just wanted to let you know that Snowman is coming along. I'm going to work on him today and hopefully get moving and getting back on track and try to get him done, because I only have about 200, if it's 580 rows, and I've got 35, so then I only need 245 more to go. So I'm gonna get there, and it seems like the closer you get to the last 100 rows, the quicker it goes. So anyway, my next thing after that will be a lighthouse that I got off at Etsy. The snowman I got off of eBay, but I noticed that I think she has her own website, and if I can find that, I will post that down below so that you'll be able to see it. So thank you for looking, and thank you for checking on me, and I'll talk to you later. Take care.